Today, we shall be discussing about energy. Everyone talks about energy, that this life is all about energy, which is very true. I do agree. Even Tesla told us that for one to understand the secret of the universe, you must think in terms of energy, frequency, and vibration. And today, I have with me two amazing personalities, best of friends. By my right is Mr.
OC.
And by my left is
Miss Chisom.
So they will be asking questions and knowledge of truth will be answering. It's a kind of interactive video. So, Chisom, what do you have to ask?
Okay, my first question is, like you said, I've heard so much about this energy, and I want to know, like, what is this energy? Are there types of energy, and how does it influence one's life?
Okay, beautiful question from Miss Chisom. Energy. From one of my short videos, I explained energy as, if any of you believe in God or in the creator or an architect of the universe or a supreme being, from him everything came into existence. This energy is his power, and this power is neutral. It is the power of the creator that people call energy, and it's from this energy all of us came into existence. In fact, human beings are mass of energies. That is what this energy is. It is neutral. It is neither positive nor negative.
Okay, that was a nice one. If I might ask, a lot of people might be wondering. Yeah, we've talked about defining what energy is and its sources of the actual source of energy. So it begs to question: how can one actually tap into this energy?
Okay. Beautiful question. Like I said, energy is the power of the creator. Now, before answering this question, I will bring us back to the fact that human beings are spiritual in nature. And being spiritual in nature, they are endowed with certain abilities and attributes. And with these abilities, they can guide this energy to whatever they want and desire. One of these attributes is the power of thoughts, the ability to think, the free will, ability to make choices and decisions, and intuitive perception. Intuitive perception is the actual place this energy passes through human beings every second. That is what is happening to all of us. This is the only place this power, this energy passes through human beings every second. That is what sustains us. And now, how can you, me, human beings, utilize this energy to create our reality, our circumstances, our environment, our karma, our destiny, what we attract and manifest into our lives? It is only one way, and that way is through the power of thoughts. So you are what your thoughts are. With your thoughts, you can guide this energy to whatever you want and desire. With your thoughts, you can set this energy into motion, but in the direction of your desire. By the way, what is desire? Desire simply means thought impulses and vibration. That is what desire means. And so with your thoughts, you can guide this energy to either positivity or negativity, good or evil. But whichever way you have done this, you are irrevocably bound to the consequences of whatever choices and decisions you have made with this energy. And therein comes the law of karma. This is why There are no accidents in life, no injustice in life. You are the architect of your destiny. So your thought is how you use this energy to create your reality. There are no doubts about it. So if you change your thoughts today, you change your reality, because thoughts will change your mindset. And once this happens, you begin to vibrate on a higher frequency. In fact, let me be honest with you. If you are suffering from depression and all those negative things, it is only changing your pattern of thoughts that can influence your mindset. And once this thing happens, the frequency of your vibration will be improved. And once it happens, you will no longer be attracted to those low level frequencies that bring those depressive moments and stressful moments to you. So your thoughts is absolutely important. Any further question?
I think the way you broke it down to pieces is quite enlightening. You understand? So for me, my takeaway on your teachings today is the importance of living in the reality, because I've come to realize that most of us, we live in a fantasy world where we perceive things to be in a certain way, whereas they are not actually in that light. Most of us live in a fantasy world. Like when you talked about depression, let's take for instance in relationships, because now we have cases where maybe two parties, they broke up. One person might sort to taking up arms or even killing themselves out of depression. Now it calls to mind that they are living in a fantasy world, thereby placing a lot of emphasis, placing a lot of hope and anticipation on their partner. And whereas when their partner now falls short of that their anticipation or that their dreamland, they fall out, and that tends to push the person close to this depression of a thing. So I think it's quite enlightening and an eye-opener for me, and I hope from today onwards I'll try to guide what I feed into my thinking and make the best out of it.
Okay, okay, okay. I will say something before I give Miss Chisom. OC says something unique. Most of us may have been hearing about subconscious mind. That subconscious mind is very powerful. Yes, it is true. But why is subconscious mind very powerful? Because it contains the third ability I talked about. A part of the subconscious mind that does that magic is the intuitive perception. Intuitive perception is the actual voice of your real essence, your inner being. It is spiritual in nature. It has spiritual power. That is why it is the only thing in human body that has the capacity to make direct contact with the living power of the Creator we all call energy. That is why it is the most powerful thing. And because it is spiritual and has spiritual power, it is the way it is. It transcends beyond what is earthly and material. That is why your intuition can never fail you. And so with your thoughts, you feed this your subconscious mind, and whatever that takes root in your subconscious mind inevitably will influence your physical well-being, your attitude and character. So you got to be mindful of what you feed your subconscious mind with, and you can do this with the power of thoughts. That is why your thoughts remain the most fundamental thing in your life.
Okay. I'm really glad we had this interactive section because it's really enlightened me in in great aspects, yeah, especially when it comes to the thoughts. Because before this, I always thought, okay, how can one control your thoughts and your subconscious thoughts? Because most times you could think something, yeah, in your mind, and then it still doesn't come out to be the reality, yeah. So possibly because, I don't know how to explain it, but possibly because the thoughts wasn't fed to the subconscious. Yeah, I don't know, but I just feel okay, we should just try to control what we think, what we allow into that space, so that it can feed the subconscious and then bring about the positivity or the negativity in one's life. Yeah.
If I might chip in a little to what you said about thinking something and eventually it doesn't pan out the way you want it to be. What I can put into this is most times we actually think things we want to happen outside reality. Most times we think about something we want to come into existence in this fantasy land. You understand my point?
Yeah.
Let's take, for instance, a student who's in school, exams are fast approaching. Now, this student is thinking, wanting marvelous grades in the coming exam, thinking it and wanting it to come into existence. But this particular student have not actually put in the work for these grades to come.
Okay.
Now they're thinking to pass this exam in the fantasy without looking at the reality. You are not well prepared. You've not put in the work. You've not done anything, maybe your assignments, your projects, to actually pass this particular exam. So most times when we think and it doesn't come to reality, it simply means we might not be thinking in the right direction or thinking it in the particular reality we are at the moment. That's a little thing I think I can chip in.
Yeah, I agree with you that when you think something, from what you said, it means like when you think, you have to actually work towards it, yeah, to achieve it, right? So my question is, for instance, let's say for those people that actually think those things and actually work. Okay, let me say, for instance, yeah, you want to okay, let's say you want to start up a business, yeah, you've thought out the whole route, you've thought out, okay, I've drawn my plan, this is how I want it to be, I want it to be a successful business, you've done your survey, you've done everything, and then you put in all the work, you make the contacts, you try your best, and then it doesn't come to, like, the business fails, yeah. So what do you blame this on? Will you blame it on the person not having that, and what's it called, that positive thoughts to channel this into existence? Because yeah, he thought it, he tried to, the thoughts went to the subconscious, he made the work to, like, actually, like, find a way to make the business work, but unfortunately it doesn't work. So at this point, my question is, why doesn't it work? Like, why didn't it work?
Okay. Thank you very much for this beautiful question. Everything begins with desire. That is first thing. And desire means thought impulses and vibration. Now, you have a goal. You want a business. You want to start a new business. And this new business, you have thought it, you have made the formats, the plans, and all whatnot. And you want this business to work. The truth is, the moment you have thought something, it is already out there in the realm of thoughts. Are you getting it? Now, you planning how to make it happen, you put in the effort, you do everything necessary. When that thing becomes a part of you, you are thinking, your words, everything, it becomes an obsession in you. Universe will make it happen, because you must have reached a certain frequency to align with the vibrational frequency of the universe, and you see, whatever that is remaining for that thing to work, universe will open channels of opportunities. That is the way it is. But you don't just say, I want a business to work. Maybe you still have doubt in you. That doubt reduces your vibrational frequency. This is the naked truth. What is happening? The stark reality, not a rocket science. But the moment it becomes an obsession, you know when you really want something, it becomes an obsession to you. You are thinking, you are sleeping, everything is just about that. I tell you in all honesty, it must happen. That is the way it is. But when you think you are doing this and you say not fear, fear is the greatest enemy of mankind, because it will reduce your natural immunity and open your inner being, open to so many uncanny currents, meaning that you are vibrating on a low frequency. And the truth is, no human being on this earth will ever attract and manifest into his life that which is not within the frequency and vibration of his thoughts. This is why there are no accidents in life, no injustice. You are where you are today because that is where you really want to be. With your thoughts, you create your reality. I tell you this. You see, you have a car. Your car, the steering of your car, you use it to navigate your car, guide your car, direct your car to wherever you want to go. Likewise, our thoughts, we use it to guide and direct this neutral energy to wherever we want, and desire. Be that in good or evil, positive or negative. The truth is, you must harvest the consequences of whatever choices and decisions you have made with this energy. And therein again comes the law of karma. With your thoughts, you can steer the universe to create your own magnetic field. And in this magnetic field lies abundance, prosperity, and success. Also lies terrible things, negative things, toxic things, evil things, depending on the nature of your thoughts. So I will advise, always think positive. Channel this energy only to positive desires. If you do this, the frequency and vibration of your thoughts will improve. And once this is done, you will no longer be attracted to those low-level frequencies that bring you heartache, bring you so many problems in life. This is the knowledge. If you possess this and begin to work towards it, sky will be your starting point and not the limit.
Agreed. Concur.
Wonderful session.
Yeah.
So it is my pleasure, really. Thank you, Miss Chisom. Thank you, Osi. Is amazing.
Nice having you.
Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you for
And to our viewers, always remember your thoughts. Begin to guide your thoughts. Don't think evil. Don't harbor any evil against anyone. Because if you do that, you are only hurting yourself, because you will be vibrating on a low frequency. And you will always attract everything that is vibrating with that higher level of frequency. And this is why so many people suffer today, because they think negative all the time. And negativity is like a heavy object, which when placed on top of water, what does it do? It sinks to the bottom. That is how negativity is. And that is why negativity vibrates on a low frequency. And if you think positive, you are like a balloon. And you know what happens when you place balloon on top of water? It floats. That is why positivity vibrates on a high frequency. And the law of spiritual gravity, which determines the frequency and vibration of our thoughts, makes it impossible for anyone to get what he or she does not merit. It is an outright impossibility in the entire universe. You get what you bargained for, what you desired, and everything starts with desire, which is thought impulses and vibration. So be mindful of what you think, what you send to the universe. Thank you so much.
Bye.
Bye-bye.